Excuse me.
Yes.
I've come for a mushroom of immortality.
Form.
Adventure game, solving riddles great and small. Adventure game,
Adventure games, he loves them all.
every day is a new quest, exploring north, south, east to west. Point and click to find the answers that we seek. Adventure game Geek.
Hello there, fellow adventurers. Over 3 years ago, at the end of my Atlantis The Lost Tales video, I said... And so the story continues in Atlantis 2, otherwise known as Beyond Atlantis, but that's an adventure for another day. Well, that day has finally arrived.
It's about bloody time.
Beyond Atlantis is the story of some bug-eyed people whose destiny lies in this woman mating with an outsider.
When will you mate?
Oh, sorry, that's the movie from 1973. This is going to be a 2-in-1 review of Beyond Atlantis 1 and 2, otherwise known outside the US as Atlantis 2 and 3. They are both spiritual successors to Atlantis The Lost Tales, and we even get to revisit Atlantis after it sank beneath the waves. Once again, both games are developed by Cryo Interactive, who created many adventures on my to-do list, including Lost Eden and Ring: The Legend of the Nibelungen.
Ow! Ooh! Why are you hitting me?
Because it is my good pleasure, you rotten little cabbage.
At the beginning of Beyond Atlantis, aka Atlantis 2, we find ourselves hiking through the snowy mountains where we come across an Atlantean ship. A surprise encounter waits for us inside.
You and I have both traveled far, Ten.
You know my name?
Yes, you are the bearer of light.
Who on earth is that? Yoda's second cousin twice removed? He tells our character, whose name is Ten, that as the bearer of light, it is his destiny to travel to the legendary Shambhala by finding the 6 pieces of a road that leads there.
Remember the path you travel.
Why must I go there?
Because you carry the light.
Oh, of course, how silly of me. I carry the light, so I must go to Shambhala. Solving puzzles along the way, of course. Let's get going and use one of the stone pieces of the road to travel to another time and place. Our disembodied spirit flies across the landscape like Ace Ventura in When Nature Calls. We arrive in the Mayan lands and our spirit takes possession of the body of Tepic, a young warrior just returned from a scouting expedition.
I have thought about you. At night, hiding from the enemy, I thought about you.
You should learn to control your thoughts.
Denied.
I think only of the king and of Quetzalcoatl, my god.
Quetzalcoatl what now?
So the prince will reign, and we shall pay homage to Tezcatlipoca.
Tezcatli what? Okay, so there's a power struggle being fought between the 2 gods of your tribe, Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent who has grown weak, and Tezcatlipoca, the jaguar god who demands blood sacrifice.
Powerful is Tezcatlipoca. Bloody his reign.
This guy is obviously on Team Tez. As a loyal supporter of Team Quetz, we must find a way for the feathered serpent to fight back.
You must go to Xibalba, the land of the dead.
What would I do there?
You must try to find Quetzalcoatl.
Quetzalcoatl.
I don't know if you will succeed, but I believe you must try. Will you go?
Let me think. Fuck it, I'll do it.
Tremble, human, for this is Xibalba, land of the dead.
Ooh, a talking bat. I'm really scared. Now we come to our first real puzzle, and it's a doozy.
Watch out for that first step, it's a doozy!
The goal is to rotate these tiles so that it creates a continuous path for the white figure to follow, and collect all the coloured pieces of the rainbow along the way. This sounds more straightforward than it really is, the main problem being that it's really hard to see where the path goes and where the obstacles are. When you come to a dead end, you have to start all over again. The dramatic chanting in the background doesn't really help either. Stop that infernal chanting, I'm trying to think! Finally, we cross the rainbow bridge and magically appear on the other side of the river. Making our way through the undergrowth, we encounter the Jaguar God.
I have found you at last, Lord Jaguar. I have found you at last, Lord Jaguar.
Am I talking to myself?
Am I talking to myself? Am I talking to myself?
Exploring deeper into the jungle, we find a giant spider web complete with giant spider.
You have no business here, human. What's in my web is mine.
Yeah, just a normal day in the land of the dead, running away from giant talking spiders and stealing insects from their web. Each time the spiders get bigger until you face the mama spider, who looks like the pyramid head of spiders. So what can we do with these precious insects we stole? Well, feed them to the frog god, of course.
The jaguar answers the call of the stars.
Could that be some sort of clue? Indeed, this is a clue to summoning Quetzalcoatl.
Who wakes me?
Greetings, Lord Jaguar. It is I, AGG. The feathered serpent pours us a life-giving cereal bowl of blood to take back to the land of the living. And so Team Quetz triumphs over Team Tez.
Strong is Tezcatlipoca, and deep is bloodthirst.
Not anymore, mate. Your bloodthirsty days are over. The next stop on our spiritual journey is Ireland, or rather an island where some monks live. It seems that one of the monks has been living in isolation for so long that they've gone a bit funny in the head.
Brother Finbar? Are you alright, brother?
In fact, apart from yourself and Brother Finbar, there's only one other monk on the island. We're so desperate to find someone else to talk to that we go around collecting parts of a skull hoping it'll come alive again. Oh, didn't see that one coming. Finally, someone else we can talk to.
Who are you?
Or not. Well, we can still immerse ourselves in our books, and when I say immerse, I mean literally. That's right, we can actually enter the pages of this manuscript and talk to the characters in the story.
Who's the man sitting over there?
That's Nuada, once king of all the Tuatha.
Oh, of course, how silly of me. Nuada, king of the Tuatha. So we actually become part of the story and go in search of the king's sword and silver hand. This involves deciphering the meaning behind these runes and summoning a magical horse. Now get ready for the most epic scene in the game. Wow, that horse must be a relative of Shadowfax.
Is the lord of all horses.
We discover another island with a guy hanging out in a tree. Ah, this must be the Birdman of Atlantis. Sorry, I don't speak bird. If you choose the correct bird calls, the Birdman will fly down out of the tree. Well, not so much fly as fall on his Birdman booty.
Tell me about yourself, Fintan.
'Tis a sad tale, Phelim. A powerful epic of tragic intensity.
Ah, I can feel the tragic intensity just by looking into your eyes. The treasure we seek for the king lies at the bottom of a hidden well guarded by a sea serpent. Maybe someone in the storybook can help us.
I could have helped you. If only...
If only what, Armich?
If only I had my salmon.
Salmon? This all sounds kind of fishy to me. For a monk that lives on an isolated island, we really do have some fantastical encounters. We even meet a goddess played by Uma Thurman.
You are Onya?
I am. I am here.
When you found the sword, silver hand, and salmon, the king is able to defeat his nemesis, a green cyclops wearing a metal diaper. And so the story comes to an end, and the monks celebrate by having a fireside rave. The third and final step on the road to Shambhala is China. This time we're a government official who finds himself in search of Tan Yun, who is said to have obtained immortality. Others have gone looking for him but were never seen again. Well, I'm sure that won't happen to us. There's a puzzle here that involves following the right directions to open a secret door. It's quite tricky to figure out, though not as frustrating as the Rainbow Bridge. This secret chamber contains a miniature model that we can only enter by shrinking in size. Then we can talk to these folks who are only interested in one thing.
I have something for you, if you pay me. But first you'll have to pay me.
Pay me first. Show me the color of your money.
Here's the color of my money. It's green. In order to get around here, we must activate a flying mechanical dragon operated by automata. I feel like this scene needs some epic music like the magical horse. It's not long before we encounter the elusive Tan Yun.
You were looking for me?
You are Master Tan?
The very same. And you are...
Geek. Adventure game geek. Shit. Tan Yun gives us the task of finding the Mushroom of Immortality.
Where will I find the mushroom?
In Hell, Master Way.
So, what does hell look like in this game? Well, it's basically the worst trip to the DMV you can imagine.
Form, please.
Where's the form?
Have you got a form?
This place is filled with the spirits of those who are still waiting to get their driver's license. I'm not really sure why hell is governed by talking animals, but then it's not that much of a surprise after talking frogs and spiders.
Next.
Finally, once all the pieces of the road are laid out before us, the way to Shambhala is revealed. You think I'm going to show you what Shambhala looks like? Go play the game yourself, you filthy animals! I will say that in the end we get to fly an Atlantean ship to where the city of Atlantis lies drowned underwater. What's fascinating about this is that you can recognize the same structures that once stood in Atlantis the Lost Tales, except now of course they have fallen into ruins. Oh, and of course the city is now inhabited by a giant octopus. One thing I forgot to mention is that in each time period, you can use this crystal ball at specific locations to be transported into outer space. There's no real point to this, it's just cool hanging out among the stars. So, any last words of wisdom?
A road may take 1,000 directions. The truth knows only one.
Well, the truth is we've reached the end of the road with Beyond Atlantis. Join me next time for Beyond Atlantis 2, which goes even further beyond Atlantis. And beyond. Salmon? This all sounds kind of fishy to me. Salmon? This all Salmon? This all sounds kind of fishy to me.